Welcome to EWTN News In Depth. I'm Catherine Hadro. Throughout the past 4 weeks, all eyes have been on Pope Leo, eager to see what priorities will guide his pontificate. From the moment he greeted the world from St. Peter's Square on May 8th, one mission of the Holy Fathers is clear: build bridges and restore unity, both in his divided flock and in a globe torn apart by conflict.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
In his first words to the world, he spoke of peace. On the loggia overlooking St. Peter's Square shortly after his election, Pope Leo XIV gave the world a glimpse at one of his key priorities as pontiff: unity.
We must seek together how to be a missionary church, a church that builds bridges, dialogue, always open to welcome, like this square with open arms, all those who need our presence.
Even the vestments he wore on the loggia reflected this desire for unity. Jonathan Liedl, a senior editor at the National Catholic Register, says his decision to wear the traditional red mozzetta and stole, unlike Pope Francis in 2013, suggests a nod to other popes that came before him.
That was a signal that Pope Leo was sending. He was very aware of the connotations. He chose to wear that, and many people interpret it as an emphasis on continuity.
Throughout his speeches and homilies, Pope Leo has frequently quoted writings from previous pontiffs.
So we're seeing what appears to be a sort of very intentional synthesis or blend of not just Francis or not just John Paul II and Benedict XVI, but all of the popes who came before Pope Leo. It's very likely that some of these little hat tips were actually made very intentionally to reach out to different groups within the church and get them on board.
Leo's celebrations of the liturgy, including his use of chant, has encouraged Catholics who prefer traditional liturgies that the Holy Father might not restrict the traditional Latin Mass as his predecessor had.
When he celebrates the Mass, people see this emphasis, this intentionality in his gestures, in his words, in the way he speaks, that I think has given a lot of hope to people maybe who belong to some of those traditionalist communities.
Along with these efforts to build bridges within the church, Pope Leo has worked to unite a world fragmented by conflict. At an audience with the heads of the Eastern churches, Pope Leo promised to make every effort for lasting peace in their war-torn nations. He has especially made efforts to facilitate peace between Ukraine and Russia, expressing his closeness with the Ukrainian people during his first Regina Coeli address.
May everything possible be done to reach an authentic, just, and lasting peace as soon as possible. Let all the prisoners be freed and the children return to their own families.
Just a few days into his pontificate, Pope Leo held a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, later hosting him for a private audience. And this week, the Vatican confirmed the Holy Father spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday about the conflict. It's the first publicly known phone call Putin has had with a pontiff since launching his full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than 3 years ago. In late May, Pope Leo even reportedly offered to host direct peace talks at the Vatican, though the Kremlin rejected this proposal. Navigating these divides, both in the church and in the world, will come with its challenges.
Maintaining the balance as he sort of welcomes one group without alienating another is going to be, I think, a unique challenge precisely because of how divided the church is right now on some really central questions.
But his background as the former prior general of the Order of St. Augustine for more than a decade might make him uniquely suited for the job. The Augustinian life is deeply rooted in community and friendship. Quoting his order's namesake, he chose the episcopal motto, "In the one Christ, we are one," a reflection of the charism and leadership that will guide his pontificate.
But I think what we also see from Pope Leo is a long experience of living out communion and friendship as an Augustinian that'll probably have significant implications in how he leads the church going forward.